All right, I think I have started streaming. Awesome. So welcome everybody to the introduction for the Cadence competition. We may have some people rolling in here as the minutes go by, but that's okay. Also, I'm sorry if this is at a weird time for some of you. This is a global competition, and I know that sometimes time zones can be super annoying. And also, sorry if you don't understand me too well. I will try to talk slowly so that everyone can understand me. Um, but yeah, welcome to the introduction. This is the Cadence competition. This is going to be a competition that runs a couple weeks, specifically from September 14th or today until the 29th. So it will be about 2 weeks. And in that time, all of you that are participating will be coding smart contracts in Cadence. The final submission is only going to be in Cadence, so there's no external knowledge required. There's not, you don't have to build any dApps or anything like that. It's just Cadence code, which I think is pretty exciting. Cadence is my favorite language to write in, and I hope that for those of you that are not very familiar with it, it will be your favorite by the end of this competition. Um, Now, this Cadence competition is going to run monthly, or that's the idea, depending on how well this one goes. So this is something that will happen again every month with a different topic. The topic this month is composability, and that means, or we'll get into it in a bit, but essentially that means building on top of existing contracts. So I'm going to share my screen here. And if you can, just go ahead and open up my stream so that you can sort of view what I'm viewing. And hopefully you can see my Discord. So can all of you see my Discord? I'm also looking at the chat here, by the way, for all of you that are typing in this chat. I am seeing these messages. Okay, awesome. So I just want to show you a little bit about where you can chat and get announcements during this competition. So I opened up a new category called Cadence Competition, and in here is where you will see announcements during the event, right? So during this process, you will see announcements in here. So not this one up here, but I'm going to be putting them in here, okay? And the first thing to do right now is if you want to receive notifications about the competition, is to click this join button right here. And what that will do is give you the Cadence competition role so that you can receive announcements throughout the contest, okay? So it's important that you click join here so you don't miss any announcements. And if you want to chat, you could do that in the chat channel. So I'm just going to put a quick hi, everyone. And if you can, make sure to, post in this chat so that I can make sure that all of you have the, Cadence competition role. So that is the first thing to do. Now, the second thing is I want to walk through this blog a little bit just to make sure that everyone understands, the competition. So again, this is going to happen every single month, and this is just the, September season so far. So we will be calling every single month a different season, and every season will have a different topic and also a different schedule, of course. So the current schedule is laid out right here. You can view all of the times for all of the workshops. And here is the invite to the Google Calendar as well. Or I think I can paste that. I'm going to paste that in the chat for the Cadence competition. So this is the Google Calendar link for all the workshops so that you can easily keep track of when they are. Now, remember that I know this is maybe really difficult for for some people around the globe, right, that are not able to meet these certain times. If that is the case, if you are not able to attend some of these drop-in sessions and you would like more drop-in sessions at a time that is better for you, um, then please let me know. You can let me know in the chat channel and I will schedule a new workshop that is at a better time for you. I tried to make them at different times. You can see this one is at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm here in the United States. But there's also some at 6 p.m., 1 p.m. So I try to include some different times for all of you. But again, if there are better times that would work, just let me know, and I will schedule those. Now, these drop-in sessions, they're basically like office hours in that they are times for, you to basically meet with me personally, and ask any questions about your project. Ask me about, Cadence concepts, like maybe if you're struggling with the language, or you want to know if there's a better way you can code your contract, or you want to discuss your idea. These are basically times for you to ask me any questions about your project, and I will be there to answer. And now remember, my goal is to help you make your project better. So it's definitely within your interest to come to these drop-in sessions because I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help make your project the best it can be. So yes, definitely come to those and let me know if there are better times for you. Now, one thing I also want to skip to is the prizes here because this is actually going to be important for the workshop schedule. The way the prizes work is like this. So there is 26,000 flow available for people who win this competition. The way that it works is there's no first, second, third, nothing like that. It's just the top 5 people will each receive 5,000 flow. So this is how the system is going to work. Okay, so if you place within the top five, you will earn 5,000 flow. However, there is also a separate prize for most participated. So this prize will go to the person who comes to the most drop-in sessions, is helping others out during the competition, and is just participating in the Discord and helping, to navigate people, or again, just coming to drop-in sessions or asking me really good questions. This is just meant for the one person, right? The one person that is asking the most questions and helping out the most, and being the most involved. Okay, so this is like the special prize, and that's why I wanted to mention it now because coming to these drop-in sessions will be important for winning that prize. Now, just to clarify, you don't have to win any of these in order to win this one. Okay, so you can win this one just on your own, or if you come in fourth, you can also earn this one as well. This is just simply going to go to the most participated. Okay, so that is on the prizes. For the topic, again, the topic is composability. That is going to be building on existing contracts, and the crucial word here is on mainnet, right? So you have to pick a contract that is already deployed on mainnet. It cannot be a testnet contract that you deployed, or maybe a testnet contract that your friend deployed, or maybe you're working on a project that is on testnet. It has to be coming from a mainnet contract. Now, with that being said, it's totally okay if you develop it on testnet, right? Of course, you have to test your contract and all that kind of stuff. And, if you want to use stuff like attachments, that is, of course, you need to use it. You need to, develop attachments on testnet. But the contract that you are building upon must be on mainnet. Okay, that is very important. So some examples are the float contract. We built the float platform here at Emerald City. It can be the NBA Top Shot contract. It can be Flovitar, Find Labs, Floaty, or just any contract that exists on mainnet you are allowed to build on top of. Now, one thing that is also going to be sort of important for the judging criteria is this first point, right? Now, the first point of the judging criteria is going to be, does your idea actually seek to improve the application you're composing on? Is there proven community interest in your idea? So one of the things that we're going to take into mind when we judge your project is there actual interest or actual need for what you are building, right? So, this means that, of course, you are welcome to explore any idea that you want and to build any idea that you want. But if you aren't able to prove or show that people were actually interested in it, then we're not going to give you good points on this idea category. Okay, so it will help you a lot if there is proven interest in your idea already. Okay. And to show you some examples of that, let me actually pull up some things that I did on Flow to that is sort of similar to this, right? So one thing I did was I went on Twitter. This was like a month or so ago. and I saw that someone wanted a bulk buy feature in the NBA Top Shot smart contract. So what I did was I quote tweeted that person and I just developed the Cadence code for it, right? All it was a transaction that I created in Cadence that extended this person's idea. And so I wrote the code for it. I then replied to them on Twitter with that idea. And that this is a perfect example of building on top of someone else's need, right? And I did the same thing over here where someone wanted, I actually went into the NBA Top Shot Discord and I saw that under the feedback section, someone put would love a bulk delist feature. So the ability to delist moments from the marketplace in bulk. And so I just wrote that contract for it, right? You can see I wrote, or sorry, the transaction for it right here. And it was actually super simple. Um, so again, for the competition, yours would probably be a lot more complex, and it would include a contract and the transactions and all of it. But this is just a small example of ways that you can interact with the Flow community and build ideas that they are already thinking about, right? So you can go into the Discords, you can go on Twitter. There's a lot of ways to get in touch with people in the Flow community, right? So that is sort of the idea here. Okay, so on to the judging criteria. We already went over the idea section, right? Like, is this, is there proven interest in your idea? The second one is pretty straightforward. It's does your Cadence code have errors? Are there major slash minor bugs in your code that could be exploited? So this section is going to be us basically trying to break your contract. We're going to try to go in there and break your code or see if we can exploit it or see if we can sort of hack it. And if we can't hack it, you will get full points on it. But sort of disclaimer here is that I'm going to be the one hacking your contract. And trust me, I will hack your contract if there's a bug in it. So I hope that scares all of you. And yeah, there can't be there can't be any errors in your contract. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Um, the next one is architecture and clarity. So does your Cadence code, is it clearly designed and written clearly? Does the code have proper documentation with code comments? So what this means is when you're writing your contract, what we're really looking for the architecture and clarity piece is comments on your code. So when you write, a contract, let's say you write a contract called, hello world, inside your contract, if you have a function called say hello, we want you to write essentially a comment here that says this function prints hello to the user, right? So essentially a way for you to tell us what your code is doing with code comments. And we will also be, looking at your code to see is it designed clearly? Is it written efficiently? Are there ways that it could be written better? So just overall, like I guess feedback on your contract, right? Is this piece. Now, for the difficulty piece, this is also pretty straightforward. We're going to be judging how difficult was the idea and execution, right? So if you submitted something like this, right, where it was just a transaction, we probably wouldn't give you, full points on the difficulty piece, right? Because this is pretty easy. It's just the ability to bulk delist moments. So we're really looking for a bit of complexity, right? That is, it's mostly just that, is the idea and are you using, resources? Are you using composable resources? Are you building on top of maybe multiple contracts? Are you using attachments on testnet maybe? Just you're communicating to us that you're really, you put time into your contract and it wasn't just written in one day. Okay. And again, we will be able to tell. Now, the last part, which I'm very excited about, is a blog post. Now, this is to write a final blog post shared on Twitter. So it has to be Twitter, okay? We were thinking about maybe opening this up to other, platforms, but we are requiring that the final blog post be on Twitter. So this is interesting. Now, I want to make it clear that you do not have to write the blog post in English. Okay, so I'm gonna just repeat that. You do not have to write the blog post in English. You can write the final blog post in whatever your most comfortable language is. So yeah, okay. So just want to make that very clear. However, it does have to be on Twitter. Okay. So the idea with the blog post is you're going to do these 5 things, right? So this section right here describes the blog post. You're going to one, describe your idea and why you chose it, right? So did the community want it? Did you create it yourself? And this is where you should put proof that the community wanted your idea, or that you essentially you got this idea from community interest, right? So this is where we're going to be sort of judging the idea section. That's what you should include in your blog, right? Describe your idea. What is it about? Why did you want to create it? Stuff like that. Two is any hardships you faced. So were there challenges along the way?
Right.
The third one should be, at least one feature you liked about Cadence. So what was one thing about Cadence that sort of helped you develop your project? The fourth one is, how did you implement the contract? And this is probably the most important, is we want you to walk through the overall architecture and how you wrote the contract, right? Did you create a resource? Is that resource stored in someone's storage? How did you utilize account storage? Stuff like that. And then fifth is just to tag Emerald DAO and Flow Blockchain in your post. Okay, so these are the requirements for the blog. So with that being said, yes, it's going to be a long thread. And you can use threads. You can use Twitter threads to do that idea. So that means when you go to make a post, you can answer question 1, right? And then you can click this little plus button, and this will open question 2, and it can be as long as you want, but it does have to be on Twitter. Okay. Um, so that is that. So I'm gonna pause for a moment. Does anyone have any questions so far about the competition, or anything that I've mentioned so far? So, oh yeah, so good question, Nazir. So there is a submission form. Uh, I'm not sure if we put it on this page, but I will announce it. Um, there is a submission form. Now, what you will do is you will basically submit your code. Actually, you know what? Let me bring that up really quick so that I can show you. One moment here. Right here. So, there is a form that you will fill out. So this is when you are completed with the with the competition. You're going to essentially put a link to your GitHub repo, and we will judge the code from your GitHub repo. So don't worry about including that in your Twitter post. However, we will of course be using your Twitter post to judge your blog post, and also your idea, because in the blog post you're going to describe um, your idea and stuff like that. Jamron said, "Is there Spanish doc available?" So, do you mean a Spanish version of this blog post? No, Noah. So the this blog post, this blog post must be written entirely on Twitter directly. Oh, Cadence slang. I have some basic knowledge. So actually, that brings me to my next point, which I will get into in a moment here. Hold on. I will wait for other questions, but I will be back to this. No worries. Okay, so it looks like that is all the questions for now, but if anyone still has questions, please feel free to post in the channel here. It is, yeah, so keep asking questions. These are all awesome questions. Um, so so for you, John Moran, so they're actually this I want to mention. So this is Emerald Academy. Now, Emerald Academy is a place for learning about the Flow blockchain, and we actually have an entire Cadence course in Spanish. So if you go to the website and you click on, I don't know why this isn't working for some reason. Um, I don't know why this won't change. I'll have to kind of look into this. But if you go to this website and go to /es, so this link right here, this is Emerald Academy in Spanish. So the entire website will be translated. Now, some of the website won't be because we haven't gotten around to translating everything. However, you can actually scroll down or go to the catalog here, and these are all the contents that are or that should be in Spanish. I'm not sure why these aren't. But anyways, this Cadence course right here, which I'll also send in the chat, this is a whole Cadence course in Spanish. So you can go through the entire course and all of it will be in Spanish for you. You can see like all of this is translated for you. Um, and all of this was actually translated by people, by the community. So it wasn't AI, it wasn't like auto translated. It actually was manually translated by Spanish speaking community members. So it should be pretty good. Now I also want to mention we do have a version available in Russian as well. And I believe we also have one in Chinese. So there's the Chinese version. We also, I think, might have one in Portuguese. No, we don't. Okay, we don't. So I hope that helps. Again, I'll have to look into this. I'm not sure why this is not working. Cool. So yeah, so this sort of gets me into like my more general point about Emerald Academy. Is we also, there's a lot of Cadence resources available for you to learn. If you go to the catalog here and click on this Cadence filter, there's all this content available for Cadence. So there's a lot available for you to learn about Cadence. There's also Cadence by example. So I'm going to send this here as well. This is essentially a link to learn all about Cadence in a step-by-step format. So just basic hello world, a little app, learning about types, right? So tons available on Cadence as well. There's also a bunch of code snippets. So if you want to, you can search through. If you click on Cadence, you can look through a bunch of available code snippets that are that are here. So for example, if you want to learn how to burn an NFT, it shows you exactly how to do that right here. So yeah, lots available for Cadence. Um, there's also Flownaut, which is sort of like a game. It's like a hacking game um, where you can upload levels and try to hack them in Cadence. Also, I want a huge shout out to, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, to Jonosuke or Jonosuke, who's actually here. So I want to give a couple claps to you because it's super awesome. But yeah, there's also this resource available for you as well. Okay. So that actually is what is most of what I wanted to mention for today's intro. Thank you for the claps. So John Ron says, with these documentation, will I be able to compete? So yes, I 100% believe that you will be able to compete. The again, the point of the competition is not only to prove your skills, and I think if you're a really good Cadence coder, you will do very well. However, a lot of the competition also comes from interacting with the community and driving community interest in your idea. So you don't have to be a amazing Cadence developer to win the competition. However, it will definitely help you. And like I linked, you can learn a lot about the competition by, doing that beginner Cadence course and also using Emerald Academy. Um, And also, by the way, I also have all the events laid out here in Discord. So if you want to, I recommend clicking on this events tab and clicking interested in all these so that you don't miss a session, or at least clicking the ones that you can attend. So OBO, any thoughts on building a new feature for an existing? Yes, so that's exactly what the competition is about. It's about composability, which is building a new feature for existing contracts. Yep, that's exactly what the competition is. So John Moran says, if I share my idea looking for community advice and someone with more skill develop my idea, better that I could do lack of knowledge. Well, so this is a you have to develop the code. It can't be built by somebody else. This is I guess what I mean to say is that this is a solo journey. There's no teams. You specifically are submitting your idea. Oh, if someone steals your idea, um, if that happens, I would come to me. I would just come to me, and we will figure it out. It is very possible that multiple people build the same idea because there are maybe you see the same idea on Twitter or wherever it is, but I would come to me, and you're welcome. Um, so OBO says, what about if the new contract just interacts or makes use of resources from other contracts like NFTs? Um, what about if the new just interacts? Yeah, so I guess OBO, what I would say is, like, as long as you're building on existing contracts, like, I think what you're asking is, like, if you create your totally own idea and all you do is just like use a resource from an existing contract, that is composability, but it's not like a really strong example. I would try to think of something where you're really building on top of like an existing idea in a cool way. um so like I think it is important that maybe you don't just use like one resource or something and then build like a totally separate idea. You want to actually be extending the platform. Exactly, OBO. To better the existing system. Now, I like it also would be really cool to like create a new idea that's really cool for that system, right? But as long as it's not like totally strange. Like for example, if I like here's a good so like if I like went on the float platform, right, and like took the float smart contract and then created like a gambling contract based on having floats, that's probably not the best idea because floats don't really have anything to do with like gambling, you know what I mean? It'd be a lot cooler if like I took the float contract and I don't know, I don't want to like, if you took the float contract and found a way to like add like a cool photo. I don't know, like this you get what I mean. Like as long as you're not just like doing a random idea, then it's okay. Yeah. Good question. Good question. Okay, so just to recap before I let all of you go, the most important things are to one, attend drop-in sessions, um, to win the participation prize, or attend drop-in sessions and help others slash chat to win the participation prize. Two is to, and this is really important, is to make sure there is community interest in your idea. Interact with the community. This is really important, right? To get the community involved. How would you know that this person has attended all the? Because I will be monitoring. Like I know, like for example, right now I see a bunch of you are typing in chat, so I know who came to today's workshop. So I will be keeping track of this. And also we have a learn Cadence session tomorrow. So if you want to learn more about Cadence, I would definitely come to tomorrow's session right here. It will be this time. So if you don't know much about Cadence, I would definitely recommend coming to that because I will help to introduce Cadence. And if you already do know Cadence, it's a good way to, get some participation in, or to maybe help others that are in that channel. But of course, if you can't make it, that's also totally okay. I'm not gonna, yeah, I will share the videos too. Thanks a lot, Plato. I really appreciate that. And again, like I know there's a lot of requirements and a lot of things you have to pay attention to, right? Like you have to, get community involved and post on Twitter and make sure your idea is cool. It may be very stressful, but if you have questions about it or you're thinking through it, I really recommend coming to the drop-in sessions because I'm here to help make your idea better, right? So please use me as a resource to make your project better, um, and to hopefully get one of these top 5 spots. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming to this, and I will see you tomorrow for the Learn Cadence session. And if you can't make it, just let me know. I know everyone is busy and has other requirements in their daily life, so always okay just to let me know if you can't attend a session. Okay. Enjoy your trip, Waz. All right, everybody. Thanks so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.